Hello there, crafty friends. It's Marie here from Marie Nicole Designs, and I will be showing the Scrapbook.com House Treat Box die set. Now, this is so cute. It cuts out the little house box, and it's a treat box. So the top opens up. You can fill it with a gift for someone, or some treats and goodies, or anything you want. Really cute, really easy to make. So I'm just going to walk you through the basic steps, how to cut this die and assemble it, and give you some ideas for decorating. So to start with, I'm taking some of my papers from the vacation paper pad there. Scrapbook.com has a ton of these paper pads, and this is a nice size for cutting these dies. Now I'm starting with the die that cuts out the sides of the box, and really the box itself. You're going to want to go ahead and cut out 2 of these. So I have one cut out here. I will cut out another one, and you can see this die cuts as well as scores the lines where you're going to be folding and assembling things. So the die does almost all of the work for you. You just have to cut it out and basically adhere it together. And I am doing that using some of this 1/8 of an inch double-sided adhesive tape. Really easy to apply. You can even just tear it with your fingernail. You don't even need to use your scissors, so it's just quick and easy to apply. Especially love it for dimensional projects like this treat box here. Because it's just so quick and easy. So I'm putting a little bit of tape on those little side flaps there, and a few pieces of tape on 2 of those bottom flaps. You don't have to put it on all 4. I'll show you as we go along. You can if you want, but you do have to remember that one of the flaps, or 2 of them, depending on how you fold it, will be exposed on the bottom. So if you put some adhesive on it, it's going to be sticky on the bottom. So I just do 2 of the flaps on the bottom. I do every other one, just an easy way to remind myself which one to put it on. Doesn't matter which every other, just as long as you leave 2 of them open. So those little flaps here that you see, I like to fold them in and then align the sides together and then stick them together. And before I put the bottom together, I do like to just kind of, with my fingers, pinch along that seam and really get a good stick with that adhesive. And then for the bottom, like I promised, I'll show you how to do that. I'm peeling off that backing paper from that clear adhesive. I like to use my pick tool from Scrapbook.com. Just really easy to lift off that backing paper with this tool and peel it off to expose this sticky adhesive. So the adhesive bit is going to go first. So I'm folding in those opposite sides of the bottom, and then I'm going to fold the 2 other flaps on top of it. And you can see those flaps are exposed like I had mentioned earlier, so that is going to have tape on it if you put tape on it. So I don't put adhesive on those. Now I noticed that I was able to put one more little piece of adhesive right there to get that last bit to stick, and you can always do that easily as you see how it lines up. You can add a little bit more adhesive if you need to. I also like to take that little tool and just with the back of it push down along the seams, push down along the bottom, and really get a good stick on all of that adhesive. And the best part of this is once you have that done, your little box is finished. That is it. It is so super easy. And the fun part can begin, which is decorating this little box. Now, it is meant to be a house box. If you don't want to make it a house, you can decorate it with your own supplies. If you have your own stamps and dies, go ahead and throw some flowers on this thing, whatever you want. But the set does come with little accessories to turn it into a house, and I think it's just so super cute. So here's another look at that die set. You have some different shapes and sizes of windows. You have a door. You have some little pieces to cut out window boxes and the shingles on the roof. And I've gone ahead and I cut it out using some different papers for my paper pads. And I'm going to go ahead and assemble. Now this is a little step that you don't have to do, but I thought I would just show you that it's possible so that it can kind of get you thinking of some different creative ways to use this die set. I am taking the window frames here, adding a little bit of glue and gluing them to a piece of vellum, which is paper that's a little bit thinner and it's kind of a little bit transparent so you can see through it a little bit. So that's just going to add a little bit of frostiness to my windows and kind of make it look like there are window panes in that frame. Now, like I mentioned, you don't have to do that, but it's just a little added touch if you want to add a little bit more creativity. So I'm going to start lining up my shingles. Now, there isn't really a right or wrong way to do this. I'm using a box that I used previously to kind of eyeball where I started my shingles, but you can do it however you want. I like to start at the bottom and layer each one on top of each other so that the shingles will layer on top. I haven't tried it the other way. I haven't tried it starting from the top and layering down to the bottom. I suppose you could if you'd like, but this way you get to see all of those scalloped little shingles and not cover them up. So I do like to start at the bottom. I kind of line up my shingles right where the roof starts to bend upward into the box, if that makes sense. And I typically go ahead and cut out about 5 of these pieces to layer together. Now you can see the top 2 pieces are kind of close, so you could probably get by with doing 4. But I also want to make sure on my boxes that I cover all of the color of the base that I cut out so that you don't see it peeking through the shingles. So I just go ahead and I usually cut 5. And I'm just gluing them all together, layering them on top of each other. And I've found that stamp blocks are very handy to just plop over something while the glue is drying and keep them in place and keep them down on your surface. So you might see me using some stamp blocks here and there in this video, just as a little weight to those little pieces that you're gluing together. So here are my little windows. Like I mentioned, I put them on the vellum, and so I did go ahead and I fussy cut them out, and I'm going to glue them now onto my box. So the box die kit, or the die packaging, has a picture on the back that gives you an idea of how you can put it together. And the picture on the back does have the door on this side that I am now putting the window on. It doesn't matter where you put your door. You can put it on this side, you can put it on the other side. It's really up to you. The picture is there to give you an idea of how things are going to look, but you have all the creativity in the world to change this up and make it your own. So I'm putting the door on the other side and I'm putting the windows on the sides here, like you see. And there is my stamp block that I mentioned earlier. I just think they're so handy for keeping things in place as they dry. Now I have 2 little flower boxes or window boxes here that I cut out, and I'm using some of the Scrapbook.com foam strips behind them. Now I'm going to apply those over the window, and you'll see it gives it a little bit of dimension. It pops out a little bit and really gives that window box the feeling of really being a window box. You could even put something cute in them, like little hearts or little flowers if you wanted to, but just popping them up a little bit, I think gives it a little bit of dimension, and it looks so cute. So I've got the windows on, and I don't remember if I put the door on or not. Yep, there it is. So I've got a door on, got the windows on. There are some other little pieces, some other windows, and if you wanted to cut the window right into the side of the house, you could. You could do that before you assemble your box and then have a window that you can look through, and maybe even put a battery candle in this little gift box and make a little luminary if you wanted to make a table guest setting or something. Lots of fun things that you could do. Now I did use a little bit of glue and one of those flat back pearls to put a little doorknob on the door. I'm tying some baker's twine on top, and the die set does have a little die that cuts out a tag if you wanted to do that as well and write someone's name on it. But that is how you assemble this house treat box and a little basics on decorating. I hope you enjoyed this video and that it gave you a good look at this house treat box. And if you have any questions or wanted to find any of the stuff, check out that description box below. Have a great day, everyone. Bye.